Elephant populations are exploding in Kenya. So too are the conflicts with humans. Staff at Old Pejeta are forced to take drastic action against a gang of crop raiders.
We've managed to find 3 of the bad animals this morning. So we'll collar one and detusk, and then just detusk the other 2.
Easier said than done when your subject weighs over 5 tons.
You know, we're looking at this as an opportunity that we don't have to destroy those animals, but it is the last chance.
It's just another busy week in the life of a Kenyan game reserve. They are the graceful giants of the savannah, an iconic symbol of Africa. And now, like the great continent itself, echoes the contrasts of a troubled land. 20 years ago, the elephant faced extinction, hunted in mass by humans for its ivory tusks. In Kenya, elephant numbers dropped from 170,000 to just 16,000 animals. Intense anti-poaching efforts and an international ban on ivory sales stabilized what remained of the population, and numbers have begun to recover. There are approximately 32,000 elephants in Kenya. It's still only a fraction of the original numbers, and the harsh reality is it's no longer possible for elephants to fully recover. In their absence, Kenya's human population exploded from 9 to over 30 million people. Much of the elephant's original habitat is forever gone. And now, the single biggest issue facing African conservation is the competition between humans and wildlife for resources.
You know, elephant populations on the whole are doing well. There's no doubt about that. You're seeing them moving into areas, certainly in the community conservation areas, that elephant haven't been for 10, 15 years. That's a sign of things happening. But major concentrations are in these conservation-friendly areas, which is a threat to the area, more vegetation than anything else.
Elephants eat a lot of vegetation, and in the process destroy many of the trees they feed on. In the past, when elephants were free to migrate naturally, this was not a problem. Areas were able to recover. But the extreme damage done to the species by poachers in the 80s changed the dynamics of elephant movement. What animals survived took up residence in protected reserves, while outside human populations expanded, cutting off traditional migration routes. Now, thanks to the work of conservationists, elephant numbers are growing. That's led to another problem. In many conservation reserves, there are now too many elephants for the land to support, and the elephants' feeding habits are causing destruction to the ecology of the land.
It's essentially an island effect. You know, one flourishes, something else is going to drop out the bottom. And we've seen that here, we've seen that with lion. We had a little sanctuary of 24,000 acres when Sweetwaters first started. The zebra in there started at 1,400 when they created the sanctuary. When we got here, we were down to just under 300.
Within Old Pejeta, much of the old trees have been destroyed by the elephants, and in times of drought, they are left with dwindling food supplies. And for the staff, that comes with a whole host of problems, chief among them, Kimani. Kimani is a large old bull elephant whose quest for the best food has brought him right into the staff area, putting them in constant danger. Despite being surrounded by an electrified fence, Kimani breaks into the staff compound in search of foraging.
Yeah, we're heading to take off, push off the elephant. that always comes into this compound. Yeah, the fence has good current actually. It's very powerful, but the elephant has some now new tactics of cutting off the fence now. And you know, we love this elephant, and he's a good attraction of tourism in this place, and so there's nothing much you can do to him, it's just to push him off.
Dixon finds Kimani on his way out of the compound.
You can see him now. And they have just cut off the fence, you see? He's very clever. But he always knows that we have to push him out, come back again, push him out, come back again. So it's just like a game.
It's a dangerous game. In the 6 months, Kimani has left a trail of destruction. Many of the trees in the staff compound have been broken in two. Efforts to prevent him from breaking in are proving futile. Elephants are smart and terrific problem solvers. And so the game continues. Later in the afternoon, the team returns to find Kimani on his way back in. He has yet to break the fence again. Normally, chasing an elephant like this would provoke him to charge and mean certain death. But Kimani has a major handicap. He is blind. As a result, he's become tolerant of Dixon. But the other staff are scared of him, and for good reason. Although he's bonded with Dixon, he is big, and if angered, could really hurt someone. There is no option but to do what they need to do to discourage Kimani.
He knows my voice too. Because if somebody else goes there, try to chase him off, he pretends that he's charging. But with me, once he has me, he starts walking and going. So he knows.
Dixon knows after the sun goes down, he'll be back. And tomorrow morning, they'll play this game again.
There's an elephant, Kimani, who's a collared individual. You know, sadly, that animal's blind. And he's sort of royal game. We don't touch him at all. He's so handicapped as it is. We sort of turn a bit of a blind eye. You know, he's not aggressive to anybody. Yeah, he's doing a bit of damage to vegetation. There's a fine balance between human safety and looking after the wildlife. If something's going to get totally out of hand and it's threatening human lives, you just got to be sensitive about it.
Elephant populations in Kenya are on the rebound after years of severe poaching almost wiped them out. These elephants live in protected areas, but their renewed healthy numbers have created a major problem. Their feeding habits are damaging the ecosystem. Old Pejeta is no exception. One of their biggest problems is a blind elephant named Kimani. Not even an electric fence can stop him. He's been breaking through it and entering the staff compound every morning in search of better foraging. Although he's well-liked, Kimani's presence poses a serious danger to the staff. Head Ranger Dixon Kariuki has been starting his day by moving Kimani out and trying to discourage him from coming back in. Kimani was not born blind. That happened 6 months ago. He was a habitual raider, terrorizing the local villagers and farmers on his nightly crop raiding adventures. It's believed he was shot by a local villager, which caused his blindness. And that's why he stays close to the familiar staff area, where he has formed an odd bond with Dixon. Before his accident, Kimani taught some of the other elephants how to defeat the fences, including the main perimeter fence.
Fencing's been a major challenge on Old Pej. When we first started 5 years ago, the biggest thing at that stage was human-wildlife conflict, and that's elephant, baboons, buffalo, hippo, all sorts of wildlife going into communities. And you got people living on our boundary whose livelihood is a 1 acre field. One elephant into those fields, and those guys they've lost their livelihood for six months. There was no way we could sit here justifying that.
In order to avoid conflicts with villages and to protect the growing number of critically endangered rhino on the reserve, Old Pejeta completely fenced in the perimeter of the reserve. They left a few strategic corridors for animals to move in and out of areas friendly to wildlife.
It was a long process to to figure out configurations. We put up certain configurations, fences that were costing $16 a metre. And you look, we've got about 140 kilometres of fencing. It's a lot of money that we spent on that. That, for about a 4-year period, completely stopped any conflict. We've had some elephant move in who have been sort of trained on good fences, and that's just poor management. Sadly, that's happened in other places. Now we've had some of those animals come onto Old Pejeta.
It's 2 a.m., and the rangers are en route to investigate a short in the fence along the northern border. There's no question who the culprits are.
They have come out already. See the breakage?
For the past week, a group of 5 have been breaking out and going into the village fields.
You see the footprints are fresh, like this one. Yesterday they were here, every day. See how
What the rangers are finding is once they have a taste for crops, there's no way of stopping them.
They live, I think, because of the hunger, because they have already eaten the crops outside the community, and the crops are very sweet.
The crews come in to repair the fence. They know that in the morning they will likely have to do it again when the animals break back in. The following morning, Batian takes to the sky to survey the damage. From the air, the elephant's path is clear, heading straight for tomato fields. It's one thing to tolerate Kimani's misgivings, but direct conflict with villages is another. They will have to take action to stop the elephants before the situation gets worse.
Once an elephant knows how to break the fence and has figured that out, if they're bulls, they certainly train. There's proven evidence that they train other bulls on how to do it. And you'll see if you look at it over a period of 3-4 months, that group will grow. There's no doubt about it, from 1 or 2 individuals doing it to begin with. And we've seen it with this group. It started off as a couple, it's now 5. And so if you don't step in and sort that situation straight away, that problem will escalate.
The decision has been handed down from the government. 3 of the 5 problem elephants are to be detusked to prevent them from breaking the fences and putting the villagers and their livelihood in danger. Although Kimani is not a threat to the villages, he will be included in the operation. His tusks will be spared, but the rangers are going to remove a radio tracker collar that he's been wearing since before becoming blind. The collar will be put on the new ringleader so that his actions can be closely monitored. The elephants can consider themselves lucky. A year ago, they would have been shot. But last year, Old Pejeta experimented with detusking another group of fence breakers and had great success.
We're looking at this as an opportunity that we don't have to destroy those animals, but it is the last chance for them. All elephants are either left hand or right hand, and they have this little hook on their ivory, and they use that for everything. What these animals are doing, they're walking up to the fence, they've figured out that their ivory is insulated, so if they hook that ivory onto the wire, if they lift their head and walk back with it, just the shape of an ivory and that hook is going to hold that wire in place, and they just keep walking back until it breaks. Once it's broken, they've shorted the fence and they're through.
Here's how the operation will happen. First, Kimani will be darted and his collar removed. Batian will then use the opportunity for a vet to check Kimani's eyes to see if there is anything that can be done to reverse the blindness. For Phase 2, the team will use a helicopter to dart the ringleader, whose tusks will be removed, and the collar from Kimani attached. This way, Old Pejeta will be able to track his movements from now on. From there, the 2 others will be darted and detusked. The darting of Kimani will be done by Stephen Chege, the regional vet with the Kenyan Wildlife Service. Ian Craig, Batian's father, will provide backup. The teams get into position and head out to find Kimani. Because of Dixon's daily game, they suspect Kimani won't bolt when he hears a car approaching, so they won't need to go to the expense of a helicopter. All goes according to plan. The dart is in. But after 7 minutes, Kimani is still walking. It's possible the dart malfunctioned or struck a bone. After a few minutes more, it's clear there is some kind of malfunction, and Stephen decides to dart him again.
Yeah, I've just redarted that animal. So we give it another like 7 minutes. The data is perfect.
The dart clearly struck muscle. It is now only a matter of time. With Kimani down, the team heads in.
Bigger than this. Sorry. Oh, yeah, but
One of these is really big.
Ian goes about removing the collar, while Stephen removes the dart. After several years on, some of the bolts are rusted and have to be cut off. Stephen and Ian check Kimani's
this
eyes.
is bilateral. It's both sides.
Patty thinks it was shotting with a shotgun.
Yeah, it was actually this. That's a corny house. Yeah, but it's his head. Unfortunately now, I lost it.
Right.
I think that's done.
What's your name, Saki?
Kimani has a bilateral corneal ulcer. It's unclear how it could have happened, but Stephen doesn't rule out that he was shot. His eyes are beyond repair, and so Kimani will live out his days blind on Old Pejeta. With limited daytime left, Stephen heads up in the chopper to locate and dart the ringleader. In order to dart him, Stephen needs to be close. Helicopter is the only way to ensure a quick and easy outcome. Stephen sets his sights on the ringleader. Pilot Mike Watson has to keep Stephen within 50 meters of the elephant in order to be in range. It's a perfect hit.
Yeah, they've darted the animal. Now they're just trying to keep it in an area that's good for it to go down, that's easy for us to get into.
The team needs to get back to find the other elephant, so they have to work quickly. The ringleader's tusks are cut off, so he will no longer be able to use them to break fences and raid village crops. Ian checks the stump to ensure they have not cut the elephant's nerve. All is okay, and Muthega uses his chainsaw to cut the other tusk. Ian takes into account the animal's age. The collar has to fit, but also allow the elephant to grow.
I would do it.
If the collar is too tight, it will strangle the elephant as it ages. Batian paints a number on the elephant that will be used to identify it by aircraft. The paint will wear off in a couple of months. It's all done in a matter of minutes, and Stephen gives the antidote to reverse the sedative. The group will pull back and give the elephant room to wake up.
That's gone seriously well, and they're just taking off to go and do the other two animals now. We've got them visual, so they'll dart both together.
Both Stephen and Ian get ready to dart the remaining two. They are located in a small group of elephants. Back on its feet, the ringleader adjusts to his new collar.
You can see him playing with it.
With the two elephants darted and down, the ground teams head in. Ian Craig takes the first elephant, while Stephen Chege heads to the other. Like the ringleader, the elephant's tusks are removed. This does not hurt them in any way. It's common in the wild for tusks to break off during fights or when they catch in the dirt while running. Back in the air, pilot Mike Watson and Stephen Chege are en route to the second animal. All things go smoothly and both teams wrap up quickly. The antidotes are given to revive the animals. Today's detusking is not so much a success story for Old Pejeta, but rather a compromise for the communities surrounding the reserve. This is the future in managing wildlife near populated areas.
So you look back at where elephant were before, what they were doing then. You know, we can look at that. And those days are gone. There's not the land available, there's not the space available, and the vegetation available to maintain what the population used to be 70, 80 years ago. Those are the challenges.
The operation was a success. As the weeks roll on, the elephants do not break out again. The staff is confident that the fences are protecting the villagers and their livelihood. With the elephants under control, Batian has a whole new series of complaints to deal with.
Just today I've had 3 letters, obviously all planned, from communities about baboons. 5 years ago you didn't hear about a baboon. Elephants are gone, now you hear about the baboons. I don't know what we're going to do there.